Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today on Customer States What, Lexor is back in the shop after the body shop. What are we doing today, you might ask? Well, we're going to be using what the professionals use. We're doing a headlight restoration, and we're using the BG kit, headlight restoration kit. Now, as you can see here, we have a cloudy headlight. And you know that the deer hit us, and we got the car back from the body shop, and this whole side is brand new, including the bumper. Well, this headlight, as you can see, it's crystal clear. Now, if we go to the other side, it tells a little different story. We got some haze. So the goal of this video today is, we got two goals here. First goal is to go through this, show you how it works, and yeah, we'll see why we're going to use that. And the second goal is to make that headlight right there look as close as possible to that headlight. Now, I don't think we're going to get it perfect, but I really do think we're going to get it pretty good, because I've done some headlight restorations, and this is not nearly as bad as some other vehicles I've done. The worst vehicle, I gotta say, is the Jeep Grand Cherokee. Those headlights are horrible to refinish. If you refinish headlights, let me know in the comments which is the worst headlights to do and what are the easiest headlights to do. So now, let's crack open this kit, see what's involved, and let's get involved. Very good. Boom. Let's open it up. Alright, we got a bunch of parts here. Directions. Some of the most very important directions you will ever read, because it's a step-by-step process. So we have directions, we have a white wipes, we have 600 grit, we have 1000 grit, we have paper to tape off any body components, we have a block sander, very good. Doesn't say what grit it is, but it's probably stronger than the 600. Let's give it a feel. Yeah, this is definitely the first step right there. We have some sterile alcohol prep pads. Very good. We have the clear coat. You know what? I think I'm going to give this a spray. All right, good. It still sprays. What else we got in the box? Masking tape for the tape. Very good. Alright, let's go through the directions. Step 1, cover the area surrounding the headlight. Area with masking tape and paper. Apply 2 layers of tape around the edge of the headlight for added protection. Tape down the other edges of the paper as well. Step 2, sand the entire surface of the headlight with the sanding block. This guy right here. Some headlights will have a yellow layer, others will have a cloudy layer. Ours is a cloudy layer, both which have to be completely sanded off. Very good. Step 3, 600 grit. It's this guy right here. Wet sand the headlight surface until residue no longer appears on the sandpaper. Step 4, we're going up in the grit to 1000, same thing. Step 5, wipe the dust from the headlight surface with the white towel. This guy right here. Step 6, wipe the headlight surface with an alcohol prep pad to remove any contaminants. Step 7, shake the BG Quick Cure, I guess that's this right here, headlight restoration sealant aerosol can, for 30 seconds. Spray an even coat over the entire headlight surface, swiping left to right, not up to down. Allow the coat to dry for about 2-3 minutes. In low temperature or high humidity conditions, use a heat gun to remove cloudiness. Step 8, apply a second coat evenly over the entire surface. Allow to dry 2-3 minutes. Repeat with heat gun if necessary. Repeat steps 1 through 8 for second headlight. Well, yeah, obvious. Duh. Anything else? Oh, okay. For our Spanish-speaking audience, I'm just going to leave it there because I don't speak Spanish. Very good. So now what we have to do is, according to the directions, we got to tape off the headlight. Let's get that done. What do you say? Cover the paintwork on the headlight. Make sure you get under the fender. You do not want to cover the headlight accidentally. So let's get in close, guys. You see what I'm talking about, how you want to get under the fender and you don't want to be on top of the headlight. If you're on top of the headlight with the tape, that portion will not get resurfaced. I'm a mechanic, Jim, not a body guy. It's all taped up now. It's not the prettiest, but it'll get the job done. Now let's get the paper, put a light layer around this headlight, and we're going to start resurfacing. Very good. Alright guys, the instructions did not say to do this with wet sanding like it is for the 600 and the 1000 grit. So here goes nothing. We're just going to go left to right. We're not going to do any cross hatching. We're not going to do circles, just left to right. So wish me luck. All right, there's no turning back now. So this is pretty much why you have that tape over here around the edges, because you don't want to sand into your paint. Oh wow. And you see how the sandpaper got clogged? You want to give it a couple of claps to get any material out. A couple of claps. All right. So remember, left to right. Even strokes. Giggity. Give it a clap. Boom. Very good, ladies and gentlemen. We are now done with the rough sanding block. Now you might think that this is looking really, really bad, but this is actually very good. Now when you're sanding with the large grit block, you're going to want to feel as you're sanding with the block as you go. If you remember where all the cloudiness was, it was mainly on the top of the area of the lens. You'll feel that resistance once it starts to come off. But then once that material is completely off, give a listen. You're not getting any resistance with that sandpaper. It's smooth throughout the whole lens. Now with the wet sanding, what I like to do with the water, I like to put a drop of soap in there, and what that'll do is it changes the surface tension of the water to make it that much more slick. So just make sure we're spraying on a fine mist. Just give it a quick wet, and same rule applies. Left to right, ladies and gentlemen. You see the material starting to run down? When that happens, you just keep hitting it with the water. That's all. Just keep hitting it with the water, keep rinsing and repeating. Keep doing it until you feel no more resistance. Like, because right now we could hear it. We could hear that it's still taking off material, but once it gets to a certain point, you won't hear that scuffing anymore, and we'll be ready for the next step. Very good. Very good, ladies and gentlemen. We're done with the 1000 grit, and as you can see, there's a big change from the rough sanding block to the 1000 grit. We could actually see headlight now. So now that we're done with the 1000 grit, we're going to go to the 600 grit. Or excuse me, it's the opposite. I just wanted to pause the time lapse, or interrupt the time lapse here, guys, real quick. The 1000 grit is where you want to put in a good amount of work. Why, you might ask? Well, the 1000 grit is going to take out any 600 grit scratches. So you want to go in hard on this. Well, not hard, but you know what I mean. You want to be diligent in your work here with the 1000 grit, because after this, there's no more sanding. But as you can see, we're getting more headlight here. It's getting more clear as we go, which is very good. And as you can see, we're keeping it wet. Giggity. And we're spraying the material down. And you also, every now and then, you want to make sure that your sandpaper is not clogged with material. Very good. Very good, ladies and gentlemen. We have all the paper off. We have dried the area. We have dried the lens. Now, as you can see, we still have some work to go, but all that yellow and cloudiness is gone. And that's from working the sandpaper from the 600 to the 1000 and doing the wet sanding. That took that light layer of plastic completely off of this lens. So now we're ready for the next step, which is we're gonna retape this all up with new paper, dry paper, and continue. Very good. Well, according to the directions, you want to take your white rag, or paper towel, excuse me, and you want to wipe the lens of any dust or debris. Honestly, we already did that by blowing this off with an air gun. So we're just following the directions. And as you can see, everything else is taped off, and I even put one of my fender covers here to protect the rest of the fender for when we use the spray or the aerosol clear coat. So, all right, very good. And I believe the next step is we're going to wipe this entire lens down with the alcohol prep pad. Very good. Alright, we got our prep pad. Let's see what this actually does. It's a very small pad. We might have to use the other one. But this kit is for 2 lights. So this here is taking any other contaminants off of this headlight. And we might have to use the other pad. Oh no, we should be good. We should be good. Just make sure your hands are clean, or if you have gloves, wear gloves. Make sure you get that corner right there. Alright, very good. You know what, guys? I'm going to use the other pad just in case. And I guess you could use some rubbing alcohol, because that's all this is, but I'm not sure what strength. It says sterile alcohol prep pad, so I would assume you could, oh, 70% right here. It says 70%. So if you have a thing of rubbing alcohol that's sterile, you want to use up to 70% to clean the headlight. Alright, very good. Very good, ladies and gentlemen. We are all prepped now for our clear coat, at least the first spray of it, and it's looking good so far. So far, so good. Alright guys, let's see how good my spraying still is. Alright, it's on there. It's on there. How are we over here? Alright, and that cloudiness is to be expected. We gotta let it dry. I don't think I went too heavy. You want to do medium overlap, about 50%. All right. stopping right there. So we'll let that sit for a little bit, for a couple of minutes like the directions said. Might have to hit it with a heat gun. It is cool in here, but we do have high humidity today, so we'll see how it goes. Very good, ladies and gentlemen. It's starting to get a little more clear now, but as you can see, we still got a little bit of cloudiness. So we have our heat gun. We're going to use it on the low setting, but first, since it is probably still a little sticky, just blow out your heat gun just in case. There might be some debris in there that'll come out. So low setting, even heat. You just want to go across it like so. We'll see how this does. We'll see before our eyes if it'll clear up or not with the heat. And we'll also see if we need a second coat or not. Well, would you look at that? Look at my headlight now. That actually looks really good. Let's compare it to the other side. You could tell. Yeah, I could tell. I could most definitely tell, but still, man, that is so much better than what it was. Let's get all this Gugats off and then pan out and see how the car looks. Very good. Very good, ladies and gentlemen. So that's how we do the headlight restoration with the BG kit. That's the one we refinished, and that's the brand new one. Now, if I really wanted it to be perfectly matching, I would refinish that headlight too, because there's no way you could compare a refinished headlight to a, what, 2-month-old brand new headlight assembly. But as you could see, there's a big difference here from where we were to what we are now. Let's get a little closer to see if you could see. None of that Gugats is still there, and that clear coat really put the cherry on top. If you guys don't know what to do yet, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification for further content.